Hmm. So you're thinking about becoming a product manager. Hmm. But before we dive in, or before you make that decision, right? I want to guarantee you that product management is definitely one of the most rewarding careers, but it is not for the faint-hearted, right? So in this video, I'm just going to be going straight into the good, the bad, and the real about being a product manager, right? So this would definitely help you in making that decision on whether product management is for you or otherwise. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I create videos on tech and product management to help you get started in your career and to also help you scale your career, especially as a product manager. So now is a good time to hit that subscribe button. So let's start by understanding what product management is, or who a product manager is, right? I think I have another video where I talked about the differences between project managers and product managers. You could definitely watch that as well. But then for who a product manager is, PM is basically the middleman between the users, the end users of the product, the business guys, right, and the technical team, right? So just see yourself as a captain of a ship, right? You're not necessarily the one rowing the ship, right, but you're the one steering it in the right direction. So as a product manager, you won't necessarily be the one coding, right? You wouldn't necessarily be the one, marketing, going to customers to sell the product, but then you're like the main person trying to collaborate with all of these different teams, right? From your engineers, your designers, the business guys, your marketers, your sales guys, right? You're also the one responsible for prioritizing features. What features do we need to add to our products? What's our roadmap? At what point do we see? What vision do we see for this product? Also, you are the go-to person for problem solving whenever there's like a problem with the product, or critical problems that probably there's no clear answer to it. You're like the go-to person to figure things out and set the team in the right direction. So that's like a quick overview of who a product manager is. So now let's talk about the goods of being a product manager, right? The upside of being a product manager. This is all of the fun stuff that can actually or should actually get you excited about being a product manager. So first is you get to be at the center of innovation. So as a product manager, I mean, you're the one building products or leading the development of products that actually solves real user needs. So think about your favorite app, for example, right? You know how you enjoy using the app. You know how you look at some features on that app and you're like, wow, this is actually very innovative, right? So if you were the product manager on that product, that's you. You can take credit for that, right? So that's one of the good things about being a product manager. You get to be at the center of innovation. Another good thing is that, trust me, it's never boring. Being a product manager, every new day comes with its own set of challenges, right? When people ask like, what's a typical day of a product manager like? I'm not sure there is actually a typical day, right? Because each day there's something new you're having to do, whether it's brainstorming on ideas, whether it's you trying to come up with solutions to certain problems, whether it's you launching a new product that your team has worked on, or you introducing new features, or you just talking about your products, right? I mean, every day there's always something new to do. There's always a fresh set of challenges, right? So trust me, product management is never boring. You would never get to that point where you feel like, oh, you're doing repetitive tasks, right? And then your work just becomes, boring, like you're doing the same thing every day. Trust me, if you're a product manager, that can never be your reality. And then another good thing is the pay, right? Let's not deceive ourselves. I know for a number of people, one of the biggest motivations for going into tech is actually because of, remuneration, right? The salaries or the pay you get to earn from it. And to be honest, product manager or product management is one of the high paying roles in tech, right? So yeah, I think that would also count as a good thing about being a product manager. And then finally, I would talk about transferable skills, right, as another good thing about being a PM. So you get to acquire a lot of skills like leadership, communication, problem solving, and trust me, all of these skills are skills that you can actually transfer into whatever industry or any role you actually find yourself in, right? Because as a product manager, you're actively, I mean, soft skills wise, it's very heavy on the soft skill side of things, right? So and getting a lot better in all of these things are definitely transferable skills that will be very useful for you down the line, and that you can easily transfer to whatever industry or any place you find yourself, right? So I think obviously there's a lot more in terms of the good stuff about being a product manager, but I'm just going to highlight these 4 things. So now let's talk about some of the challenges about being a product manager that you should know about. Of course, being a product manager, it's not all shiny, it's not all rosy, right? You just launching products every other month or every other week, and you just being like the face of your product, right? Absolutely, that's not all there is to product management, right? There are also some challenges that comes with the role. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the high pressure environment. A lot of people put it in their CVs that I can work under pressure, but truth is, as a product manager, you will definitely undergo a lot of pressure, right? Because you're always the go-to person. If anything is wrong with your products, right? If, say, for instance, you are working in a fintech company or you're a product manager for a fintech product, and all of a sudden users are not able to transact, right? Definitely all of that fire, all of that heat comes first to the product manager, right? Say, you're working on the project, you guys are not able to hit the deadline, even though you're not necessarily the one coding, right? You're not the engineer coding. But then folks typically would not go to meet the engineers to ask, or stakeholders would not go to the engineers to ask, oh, why were we not able to meet this deadline? Obviously, it all comes to the product manager, right? So there's a lot of pressure that comes with it, and you just need to be mentally prepared and well equipped to be able to handle the pressure that comes with the role. Another thing is that you do not have any direct authority. Let's be real, right? I know I talked about how, as a product manager, you are sort of a leader, right? But the reality is you are a leader, not your teammates manager. I don't know if that makes sense, right? So you have a team of engineers, designers that you need to lead, you need to inspire to get the work done, you need to tell them what to do, right? But then you don't necessarily have any authority over them. You're not their manager, you're not their, they don't report to you, right? So sometimes there could be that blurry line, and it's something that you need to learn as a product manager, right? That even though you're a leader, even though it's your responsibility to motivate the team to, share the vision of what we set or we want to achieve, and also try to get the team to work in line with the vision, you don't have any direct authority over them. So you always have to be able to find that balance to know that you are peers, right? Even though you are a leader or you are leading the team. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's definitely something that you need to have at the back of your mind. Another thing would be what I would like to call decision fatigue, right? So as a PM, you every other day or literally every day you will have to make a lot of decisions, right? The team is counting on you to make a lot of decisions, right? Say from trade-offs, or okay, we need to deprioritize this feature to focus on this feature. This is the strategy that we would need to adopt. We won't have to take this strategy. Maybe we shouldn't even do this thing at this point. You know what? Let's just shut down these products completely. All of those decisions, right? There's a lot of decisions that is or decision making that is dependent on you as a product manager, right? And for people or someone who finds it difficult to be able to make definite decisions, right? It might be something that you might struggle with. So it's something that you need to have at the back of your mind. There'll be a lot of decision making that would be dependent on you, right? So you need to mentally prepare for that. You need to make sure you equip yourself to be able to, make the right decisions, especially data-driven decisions. And then finally, I'll talk about imposter syndrome. This one is real, right? A lot of times you'll feel like, gosh, do I actually know what I'm doing? Or man, I need to know everything, right? I need to know everything about the technical side of things. I need to know everything about the business, literally everything. But the reality is, I don't think anyone does, right? So imagine you as a product manager, you understand everything. You have the same level of skill sets with your engineers, right? You are as proficient in building products as they are. At the same time, for the business guys, folks with MBAs that have gone to business schools that are trained as business folks, right? You expect yourself to you need to know as much as they do, even as a product manager, or even for all of the different roles. You feel even as a designer you need to have the same level of skill sets with your designer, right, to be able to communicate or effectively collaborate with them, right? And a lot of times this drives or brings imposter syndrome to a lot of product managers. But the reality is, I don't think anyone actually knows everything, right? So that's just the place of continuous development, right? Always trying to strive better. Don't beat yourself up. You're doing a good job, right? But at the same time, you need to strive to get better. Continuous learning, keep being on top of new trends, new technologies, and just acquiring as much skills as you have, right? So imposter syndrome is something that a lot of product managers deal with, right? And it's also something that's, when I say comes with the role, right? But yeah, I believe it sort of comes with the role. We've talked about some of the good things or good sides of being a product manager. We've talked about some of the challenges. So I think the question is now, so how do you know if product management is the good fit for you, right? So I believe you thrive as a product manager if first you're a natural problem solver who loves a good challenge, right? Because challenges, a lot of it, you're gonna see a lot of it, right? But if you have that problem solving mindset, you don't panic too easily when there is a challenge, right? But you try to take your time to look at it and try to think deeply, work with the teams to see how you can actually solve or come up with solutions to solve some of these challenges, right? I believe that you would be a good fit as a product manager. And then secondly, you need to be an excellent communicator, right? So both verbal and written communication. You need to be, very good with expressing yourself, right? And being able to communicate well with both technical teams and non-technical teams. Remember I said as the product manager, you're sort of like captain of the ship, right? You're like the middleman and you're having to collaborate with all of these cross-functional teams, right? So you need to be able to communicate effectively with the technical teams as well as the non-technical teams. I think you would also thrive as a PM if you sort of have this natural empathy for users and this love for creating value, right? Because at the end of the day, whatever product you're solving or whatever product you're putting out there should be towards solving a problem for users, right? And if you have that, natural empathy, like you really want the best for your users, you really want the best for your customers, this is what would guide you in, coming up with innovative ideas, innovative solutions and the likes, right? So that's something else I think if you are like that, you would definitely thrive as a product manager. And then finally, I believe you would thrive as a product manager if you are okay with ambiguity, because trust me, you'll face a lot of it, right? A lot of big words, complex scenarios, things that just looks fizzy and hazy, right? And then you're having to as a product manager, it is now your work to fully understand all of these ambiguous scenarios or ambiguous words or conversations, fully understand them and be able to distill it down and make it a lot more clearer for other team members or for other people to understand. So then again, the question is, should you become a product manager? Well, yeah, if you are willing to embrace challenges, solve meaningful problems, and just lead with impact, then the answer is definitely yes. So but I'd also advise you to take some time to do some extra research, learn, look at some other product managers out there, see what they're doing, and just use all of this information to come to a much informed decision, right, as to whether you should pursue your interest in product management. And if you have other questions or things that are not clear that you think would help you in making that decision on whether you should start as a product manager or even how to get started, let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than willing to answer all of those questions that you have about the role of a product manager, what product management is all about, and how you can get started. So just drop all of those questions in the comment section. And once again, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. The goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers before the end of this year, and I know I can make it happen, or we can make it happen, right? So please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with as many people as you want. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.